general rule, if you have to lay out a vague plan in terms of how you're going to improve your communication, you can't communicate. You're not a good communicator, and it's not going to improve. That's what I was thinking about during this whole article. The other part, too, was the more I read about the Rafael Devers situation and Craig Breslow sort of admitting that, you know what, communication is a problem for me, the more I realized that it really wasn't the friction there when it came to Rafael Devers that forced them to. They didn't want Rafael Devers in this contract in Boston. That's what it really comes down to.
The Jeff Passan report tells you in spring training they were already calling teams and having that discussion. So you can talk about maybe first base and turning that down being the final straw. If you liked Rafael Devers so much and you thought so highly of the player, why were you already willing to talk to other teams about it? There's no other reason. Yep. You didn't like the contract. Why? Because your model tells you this is an underwater contract, which this front office has floated to every national reporter for the last 3 weeks or so.
And it's not a bad contract. Now you can look at it and say, hey, we don't want to give a contract like this to somebody who doesn't do everything we want them to do. But if you just look at what Devers' bat is and just historically what that type of player gets in modern Major League Baseball, this contract actually is a little bit less than what he would get in the market. Dan Shaughnessy wrote today in the Globe in his notes column, he had Barry Bonds before San Francisco and Rafael Devers before San Francisco. And he looked at the numbers. Really, it's amazing. It's pretty similar. Now, Barry Bonds did a little something different. I don't know if Devers wants to go in that direction.
The training regimen.
But, Barry Bonds, Skinny Barry. There was Skinny Barry in Pittsburgh, and then he went to San Francisco and,
Had doubled
got some activities out there that were interesting. But he's an elite bat, and if they want an elite bat, whether it's Devers or anybody else, they're going to have to pay that contract that's coming back. If that's what you want. Yeah. That's what you have to do. So you don't like it with Devers, you're going to have to like it with if you sign Alex Bregman, if you take the bait there and say, hey, we got to sign Bregman now that Devers is out, it's going to be a long, expensive contract.
A deal that you didn't want to do, by the way, a few months ago when Alex Bregman was a free agent.
Yeah. And now you're going to have to do it. It's going to be over $30 million a year. Probably 6, 7, 8 years.
Ooh.
It's going to be a lot. So, all right. You're feeling good about yourself that you got rid of the Devers contract, but if you want a big-time player, that's the price of doing business.
Yeah, when you have interviews going on right now with Breslow admitting that communication is a huge issue and he's got to be better about it, and it's not just Rafael Devers, but it's in terms of the front office and the way that he went about sort of creating this weird atmosphere when the audit was taking place a couple of years ago. I don't know how you can also say with a straight face that, the issues with Rafael Devers. If you said that you had issues communicating to begin with, if you wanted to keep the player, you could look in the mirror and say, I messed this up and we have to repair it. And with some of the passing stuff coming out as well, with Rafael Devers being open to playing first next year, there was a path there. By the way, you were playing your best baseball when you actually moved off of Rafael Devers. There was a path there to repair that relationship with Devers where you did not have to move off of him. I'm sorry. No.
Hey Zoe, I was one of those people in the car on a 99-degree day.
Windows up? No AC?
Yeah. Just really putting myself, like, how much can I take? Yeah.
David Goggins, yeah.
But I heard, during that moment, I heard T-Bone on the show make a great point when you're going over, like, the most disappointing Red Sox. And he said Alex Bregman, because if Bregman had just said, I'll play second. Hey, listen, I understand. I was with the Astros for a long time. If somebody had come in and taken my position, I would have had a problem with it too. Hey, Alex, don't worry about it. I'm going to play second base. You need a second baseman. Kid's not ready. I'm just going to tell you, Campbell's not ready. That's all right. I'll handle second. Let Devers stay at third, and then we'll see what happens. And if he really struggles at third, then, maybe he'll be more open to it. But I'm ready to do whatever it takes for this team.
But he was willing to. That's the whole thing.
He was down.
He started camp taking grounders at second base. Trevor Story is out there saying, we're going to be a great double play partner. I'm excited about it. But Craig Breslow was so stuck to his model, which we have the reporting on, that they decided on Christian Campbell being the opening day second baseman before camp started. It's not like Campbell did anything during camp to win that job.
He didn't win the job.
It was a front office decision before any of it, and they wanted to act and dress it up as something else. And that's part of the reason why Devers was mad. Don't play this game where you don't name Alex Bregman the third baseman till the last week of March when the whole world can tell Christian Campbell's your guy because you never put me at second base throughout the entire camp. Why is Alex Cora telling Rafael Devers to throw his glove away? Because the decision was made from up top before they even got to
Bregman
camp.
could have insisted. He's making $40 million a year. He could
When
have
you get to a new organization and they're telling you this is what it is,
I
have
thought he
a
was
hard
Cora's
time.
boy. I
He
thought they were
is.
boys.
And
What
he's not the CBO. It's Craig Breslow who once again made the decision. That's what it was.
And it comes back to it, McCone, communication.
Yeah.
If you're bad at it as an executive, you usually don't get better at it. Not like, and I have to keep reminding myself, and I'm not just talking about the corporate speak. I have to keep reminding myself that he played, that Breslow played. What? Like, I could see a guy who doesn't know the rhythms of the clubhouse, and you're an executive, and you have to figure out how ball players think and how they respond to things. And so that might be a struggle for you. But he played Major League Baseball for many years. He was a teammate of the manager, and he still struggles with this.
Well, the best part of the article, too, because we've been making fun of Zoom throughout, is that at the end of this audit, everyone that winds up staying, because the turnover was crazy there in terms of how many people were out the door, but everyone that stays, he brings everyone together to give his, like, Newt Rockney, hey, we're in this together type speech over Zoom. I'm like, again,
Zoom.
the communication here is
Zoom
not
guy.
great. Yeah, big Zoom guy. Yep. Let me close my door to the office. Yes, and I'm going to jump on Zoom and let everybody know, by the way.
Probably
Yeah.
walks around the office. Hey, that Zoom's coming up. You got the link?
You got that?
Zoom's coming up about 15 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to go to my office.
I didn't have a laptop.
No, but
I
that was an
wanna do
email that he sent, by the way. We did not go out of his
Email.
office. Yeah,
That's
email.
right.
Remember,
Email.
Zoom. Yep.
I hate Zoom because I can do it off my damn phone. I don't even want to do it through a computer. It just sucks.
Even the way he handles team bonding exercises, it sounds like someone at a corporate level who has no idea. Hey, let's all get together and we're going to clean up the office while the Netflix crew records us.
Yeah.
That's a great way to bring all the guys together and get everyone in that office on the same page. No, they have cameras following them around. You think they're going to be comfortable?
Sounds like it here. Good luck gathering everybody up.
Quickly before headlines, let's go to Steve, who's been hanging on for a while. Steve, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I think it's a complete slap in the face what they're charging for ticket prices right now. I mean, you look at this team, they're not playing well. They've lost a lot of games recently. No more Devers. I don't even think Vlad Guerrero's playing tonight, and they're charging $90 to sit in the last row of the bleachers. Go look it up for yourself. It's an absolute joke, and it's a slap in the face to all of us. Thanks.
Yeah, the only way that
That
changes.
opinion will never change. Like that's
Yeah, but the only way it does change is if you get down to 22,000, 26,000 at Fenway. Then you'll be like, okay, wait a minute, we got to do something.
Yeah.
That's how you get their attention.
Milliken, if the Red Sox are buyers at the deadline, are you going to have your O face on or no?
No, not right now. Unless Craig Breslow, and this is my issue, he keeps doubling down. You go back to that first press conference after the Devers trade, and to just make the statement that we're planning to be buyers where they were at, listen, they had won 5 in a row, 6 in a row at that time, technically. At this point, you had 2 5-game losing streaks in a month. You've been the worst offense in the sport since you traded Rafael Devers. Even your manager's going on radio and saying, we have to prove ourselves. We have to show it to you. You go back a year ago at this time, you had a 40% chance of making the playoffs. Right now, you're at 17%. You could go underwater here in the next week or two to a point where, you get 5 games under 500. It's almost impossible to see you making the playoffs. There's going to be a spot in the American League where you have as many teams in front of you for the third wild card as there are behind you for last place. So I think for Craig Breslow, doubling down over and over again, saying you're buying, wait it out. If there was ever a time to wait it out, it's right now.
Wait it out or buy.
Right now, but
Just
that's
buy
the
it.
problem.
Just do
They're
it.
going to tell you in today's climate with the trade deadline, nothing really gets going until the MLB draft happens at the All-Star break. You can't afford to wait. So if you believe in the team this much, you better make the
Do
move
it.
today. But they don't want to pay the prices. And that's the old Dave Dombrowski tax, where Dombrowski would make the move at the beginning of July because he knew what he wanted and he didn't care. He was just trying to get to the playoffs. He knew what the mission was. Craig Breslow waiting it out right now, you don't have the luxury to do that, so you got to pay the price. It's just he comes from a background where they do not want to overpay for things. Because in the model, it looks bad.
Breslow saying yesterday that he's still into buying. Are you into it, Holly?
Am I into it? No. Because I just don't believe him. Buying what? What are you buying big stuff, or buying at the margins, or hey, we like this guy and we feel like we have a lot of good players and he could fit in and he can help us here. He can spell Toro and all this. All right. But I'm talking about the big one,
the blockbuster deal.
You lost an elite bat. So now, can you turn around? You're looking at that Chapel Roan, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't get that.
Or something.
Show research, yeah.
Or you lost an elite bat. Do you go out and acquire another one? That's what I'm looking for.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I don't believe
bat.
he's going to do it.
You know how stupid it would look for him, too, to do that? Like, we're going to go out and get that DH-type bat when you had the guy?
But at least then you can
say
frame it as having conviction and saying we had to get the guy out of the lineup because he was this much of a problem in the clubhouse. Waiting it out until the team goes underwater and then trying to double down on it, that's a crazy approach on its own.
And what kind of problem was he in the clubhouse? I want to know this. Did he tell him they can't?
Loner.
He can't. They couldn't put their Wally heads on after celebrations. What was he doing?
People avoided him. Players avoided him.
Okay, great. So so it's all better now. It's better. It's better vibes. We don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. But we're hitting 182. I think sometimes it's good at work. I'm not talking about this kind of workplace. I'm not talking about here. Maybe somebody else's workplace.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to have people at work that you don't necessarily like. They're talented, and there's some tension there. But it's still better. It's still better than I'd rather work with people who I don't necessarily love all that much, but they're talented and they make us better, as opposed to having great. You said it. Having great energy.
Yeah.
But you're not as good.
See, what's stunning to me, too, is like if this is coming from up above, too, and ownership more so, if I'm paying a guy $30 million, he's not we're asking him to do this photo shoot or come meet these clients and he's not doing it. Yeah, it would piss me off, but you went through this with Manny. You had Manny at the beginning here. So you know what sort of a guy that's sort of defiant and in his own little world, but crushes the baseball and it's so good for your baseball.
Doesn't have to be a leader either.
You need to understand that balance. This is like something that's new to John Henry.
But they had all those guys around.
I'm talking about the whole
with Manny. They had so
But
many.
that was part of the reason you
Devers
paid
doing
Bregman,
wrong.
right? Like Bregman's here to be
He's your
the
leadership
adult.
guy. Right. He's your new Pedroia.
So I'm glad we brought this up, too, because we had boots on the ground last night. Section 10 had Jaron Duran on. Milliken, you were there, and you asked Duran if Devers was a problem in the clubhouse. Take a listen.
I feel like people wanted us to dwell on it. But it's like, what is that going to do? It's not going to bring them back. Like, people are like, oh, maybe they didn't like Rafi or they didn't care or stuff like that. I'm like, no. But, like, what's crying about it going to do? It's not going to bring him back. Like, he's gone. He's on the Giants now. He's doing his thing over there. So, like, we have to do our thing over here. So when people are like, oh, like honestly, like, to the fans, like, if you're mad about it, like, you guys can be mad about it because you don't have to go and perform on the field the next day. Like, we don't have that luxury to be upset about it because I got to go out and win a game the next day with or without Rafi. So, but I mean, we were always a pretty close group. And I think just all these people getting upset about it, it's obviously made us closer because it's like, all right, well, they think we're going to suck without Rafi. Like, well, we have to go prove them wrong now. So that's just something else we're going to have to prove people wrong.
What was your relationship like with Rafi when he was on the team?
It was good.
Yeah.
I loved Rafi. I still love him. I mean, it was always funny to see him smiling and laughing and act like a kid.
It was fun to see him
smile and laugh like.
But he didn't do it. He didn't do it that much.
What were the jokes you were telling?
Yeah, after they told me he was
what did he say back to
DH
you?
or needed to play first, he wasn't laughing.
But like the initial part of that is like he's gone. Like, what are we gonna do about it? Can't cry over spilt milk, or like that's a polite way of me saying, as a teammate, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. Like, I'm not gonna kill this guy. He's not here anymore. I'm gonna try and answer this as politely as I can. We still got to go out and play the next day. Fans are bugged by it. We're not really bugged by it. That's the way I take it.
You think it's polite, or is it just like
truth?
It's just right?
Because he was the first guy to comment.
That's how players think.
But he was
right?
the first guy to comment. He said he and Ruff Snyder sit together on a plane. He goes, "We're big nappers. We didn't even realize it when Rafi got pulled off the plane." Like, if Rafi's getting pulled off the plane, the whole plane's waking up. Like,
exactly.
If we're
right.
on a team plane,
like,
you're taking
what was that?
Corn comes back to grab Rafi.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, wake up.
Like, watch
Guess
this.
what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
It
what
was
is
too
What is this?
nonchalant
Right.
and just like a common occurrence didn't really phase us. Like,
But it
see, I
felt
get
like-
it. Like they're not phased by it.
It felt like a young guy who was trying to keep, what's the right thing to say? How do we keep everyone moving
So
in the
I'm
same
saying-
direction?
I'm saying
That's
it's a
how it
polite
came
way,
off.
yeah.
But you hear there, even talking about him in that way or being willing to, it wasn't so bad that you had to make that move in that spot.
You're not gonna
But
hear
they
that.
were on a winning streak. So they thought, all right, we created a little breathing room. You've lost that breathing room. So even waiting out this whole trade decision a couple weeks until you were able to set up another move to make it all work together would have made more sense. Instead, you just felt like you had to make the deal. That's what the front office keeps saying. It felt rushed based on the package, how you shopped them. It feels rushed because you don't have a replacement or a plan right now to keep the team with their head above water.
Did I don't know what your questions were. 'Cause sorry, Mike. I didn't hear the whole podcast. But like, did you guys ask him? Do you feel you're the next guy to go here?
Yeah, we did. There's
you
another
did?
piece of audio.
Okay,
Wow.
good.
We have it.
No, I think they got the Red Sox just got out hustled. It's like that little back in the day when people weren't on Zoom, they're just like walking down the street, and like you walk in the city and somebody, hey, you get the little shell game. Hey, come over here. All right, where is it? And you lose like $10, $20, $30. The Red Sox got the shell game out hustled by the Giants. When the Giants say, wait a minute, okay, we're just gonna call your boss. They go over Breslow, and they call John Henry. Hey, John. Hey, man. Your guys are asking too much for Rafi. The fact that they did that tells you they really wanted Devers. You were desperate to get rid of him,
Yeah.
and they were desperate to acquire him. So their level of desperation matched yours, but you showed your hand first. They showed you their hand, but you didn't realize that you had them. You didn't have to. Hey, we're not going to be here. Okay. We'll wait then. All right. Hey, Buster, thanks a lot. Hang up on him. Okay, we'll be here when you're ready to deal. That's how you get the advantage on them. But the Red Sox were chasing this deal the entire time when they had leverage. They didn't even realize over the Giants. The Giants, you know what the Giants were? The Giants were the Red Sox without Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
They were the Red Sox. They had nobody they had no bopper in the middle of the lineup. So you trade it, you give them, you fill their hole, and now you got one.
The chatter's out there. You could have got more immediate help from the Braves. Like, we know that at this point in time. What was the difference? Oh, the Red Sox were willing to make the deal as long as the full contract was off the books.
I'm sorry.
That's what the Giants
You know what,
offered them.
Milliken? Yeah, I would say, all right, I know you're taking the contract. I need more.
100%.
Yeah.
I just still
Shows what their priority was, which is the
I
problem.
need more from you.